watch a trophy fly. Targets downrange, bullseye hit. Guns don't kill, our spirits lit. Fire, lock and load, let them roar. Shoot straight, Second Amendment score. Hunt, shoot, rock forever free. Amendment, eternity.
All right, added a little extra on there, everybody. Welcome, 701 Nation, episode number 5. I'm JD. Hey, everybody, what's going on? I got people jumping on. 18 wheels and dozen six shooters. What's up, brother, man? Good evening, my fellow MVE, Brian Warner. Dan Hager TV, hello. How you doing, Dan? One Shot Cap. Good evening, 701 Nation. Good evening, One Shot. Glad you guys could jump on. I think we got a pretty good show lined up tonight here. Make sure I got everything rocking. All right, let me get the chats up here. I got to get them right here. Graphics chat. There we go. All right, got them. Yeah, so I think we got a good show lined up tonight. One of them didn't quite work out like I wanted it to, but it's going to be the first one we're going to do. High Point firearms. I think a lot of people know about those who are gunnies. Cheap firearms. I don't know. The ones I shot actually worked pretty good. A lot of people call them Jam-O-Matics. Introduced centerfire pistol and rimfire cans. Of course, they're affordable. You know, I'll let you know what the price of them are. And then we got our boy Governor Walz over here in Minnesota and his leftist buddies. They're unleashing their anti-Second Amendment agenda. And it sucks. You know, it sucks to be outside of Minneapolis and be a good Minnesotan, but that's how that's going to go. And we got a trio of soft rifle cases that are suppressor length. Like, I don't like taking my can off when I go somewhere. So I do have one of the bags on the list is the one that I own. I got a little more insight on it than the other ones. But yeah, I hate taking my can off. Some people don't mind. I don't. It's just something I don't like to do. And I buy a rifle case accordingly. In West Virginia could open the door back up to buying full automatic firearms. How freaking awesome is that? Love that. That's a great story. And West Virginia has gone pretty red over. And as a matter of fact, I'm wearing my red hat tonight, and yeah, got that baby going. Trump 2024, wearing that in honor of President Trump putting foot firmly to ass on the Democrats on the State of the Union last night. Loved that. Loved it. Great job, Mr. President. Great message, and you're kicking ass. I love it. And of course, a happy ending. Hootenanny. We'll hit on that. I got a good one. I think that might be from Virginia, Rocha. I don't know. We'll get it going. But my brother, man, Leon Francis. Let's fucking go, baby! Triple exclamation point. Like Trump says, exclamation point. Boom. I'm wearing Leon's gear right here, baby. 2A701. Red Trump hat. LF, you just got on. My red Trump mug, red Trump hat. Love it, baby. Was a great State of the Union. A little long for me. I think he could have shortened that up, but hey, it was great. And next Wednesday, love that. Me too. It's actually my river hat. When I'm on the river, this is usually what I wear. Is the 2A701 Blackbeard Logic hat. So next Tuesday, if you didn't catch the short I did earlier, I'm not doing a live next Tuesday. It will be a week from tonight on Wednesday. As no, I'm not interfering with guns in the 701. Clay will be on Thursday nights doing guns in the 701 for Lent, so he's going to be doing that for a few more weeks. But after that, I'll be back doing Tuesdays again. But I got surgery Monday. I could have maybe did it Tuesday, but I'm gonna give myself another day to heal up. I get a little hernia surgery going. So, and this Saturday, that's right. I was going to hit that. This Saturday, I'll be joining Scott Bachmeyer, Dakota Prairie Outdoors, KFYR 550 AM radio, and Scott's Dakota Prairie Outdoors YouTube channel. Get on that. We'll be on. I'll join Scott about 8, and we'll do a little after the show. I'll be doing it from from the parked car. I'll be in Minot. My youngest has a volleyball tournament, but that's fine. I can miss one game to get off my brother, man, Scott. I think Scott wants to jump me a little bit about the corner crossing thing, which is fine. Let's get it. That won't be the whole show, I'm sure, but we'll get into a lot of other stuff here. What's Leon says takes time to properly flame those lib turds. It does. I don't even call them liberals anymore, Leon. I actually call them leftists because most of them are leftists. Liberals are kind of like flaky, soft. I don't know, man. Soft's the word for it I'm looking for. Like weak-minded. I don't know. Leftists are just violent, evil bastards, and the modern Democrat Party is turning into a bunch of leftists, in my opinion. They're triggered by this. They wouldn't even stand for this at the State of the Union. If you're listening on the podcast, I'm pointing to the American flag on my bright red mega cup here. Homemade one, by the way, and it worked just as good. It worked, right? I helped get him elected. So yeah, next Wednesday is going to be the next stream, and at the end of the show here, I was going to put the video together. A few things didn't work out. No axe, I'm not blaming you. Marxist, right? Dan Hager says Marxist, right? Marxist, leftist. I call them the same thing. They are Marxists. I mean, they couldn't even stand for God's sake. I mean, I'm not going to rehash the whole thing, but I mean, it's painfully obvious they're on the side of illegal aliens and not United States citizens. Dude that had a stroke is the only sane one on that. So the dude that had a stroke, yeah, Fetterman. Yeah, Fetterman. He actually, I mean, maybe knocked out some leftist plaque or something because he got, he did get freaking, he seemed like he got common sense after that, which is, and I'm not saying John Fetterman's a right winger. He's not by any means, but at least he's got enough. I mean, he does seem to have common sense and work with he seems like he likes America, man. So I'm not going to bark about Fetterman too heavy. So let's hit it. You just joined in. I'll go through the queue here, what we're going to do, and then we'll start it off. I'm going to go over some High Point. The cheap High Point shit. They got some new cans coming out. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and the leftists unleashed their 2A agenda. Trio of soft rifle cases for suppressed rifles. We're going to hit on that. West Virginia bill could reopen the door to lawful machine gun transfers. That's awesome. Happy Andy hootenanny after that. And if you never watched the show before, it takes, we're usually on about an hour and 15. I would say closer to an hour. Good evening, Dave. Ha ha, Nerp. Our boy there from 701 Marksman. Good show Sunday night. Watched all of it there. Him and his buddy Garth talking shooting sports, reloading, stuff like that. And around that, it was good. Yeah, I got you, Leon. They did lose, and I will get on that. Little Timmy. Little Timmy lost some today, but little Timmy didn't lose at all. So, but yeah, 701 Marksman on Guns in the 701 Network. Check that out every Sunday night. I think 7 p.m. Central Time, right? And like I said, Clayton's going to be on Guns in the 701 tomorrow at 8 Central. And I think he's on Friday morning. Either that or Leon, are you on with Clay or with Todd Friday morning on K-Fire at 8:15? Not sure, but Leon will be on with Blackbeard Logic Friday night, and Sunday morning Vance is on the Sportsman. Man, I'm just going to say the Sportsman's Church. I'm sorry, Vance. I just can't lock that in. If you don't go to church or you watch it on TV, click in there. Yeah, I think that's 8 a.m. Sunday, 2 Central Time. Check in there with Vance to give you the Sunday gospel, baby, from the outdoorsman gun owner perspective. It's great. I'm not a big religious guy, but I do enjoy watching it. Vance makes it something good to watch. So let's hit it. Hey, by the way, if you did up there, right in that corner there, you want to support JD, Guns in the 701 or Guns in the 701. Living the past, man. 701 Nation, right there's my Venmo. Scan that, baby. Appreciate any donations for the show to keep it rolling. I'm not like a bunch of people like out in the eastern part of the state who flip sides and the leftists pay for them. I'm going to be self-funded, man. If I'm not, then it don't work because that's how I'm going to do it. So, whoa, buddy, pump the brakes. Not every Sunday, but we'll advertise it. All right, sorry, Dave. I got carried away. That's right. He did say, I think, twice a month he's going to start doing it. Right? Twice a month for 701 Marksman. Sportsman Sundays, Leon's exclamation point. Leon, I'm glad because I got to be reminded of that. God, man, that makes me mad. I can't remember that. Brian Warner, my LMV. I actually was looking up some MVE shit today, Brian, back from when the whole MVE thing started with Biden calling us MVEs. Fetterman seems to have intestinal fortitude to be what his people elected him to be. That used to be called integrity, and the left doesn't seem to have any anymore. They don't. The leftists are freaking, they're completely unhinged. We will get into some politics. Don't be like, right. Don't be like Lartard Porthole. I said Porthole. He says, right. Rob Port is he's an insufferable human being. It's hard to believe that guy was part of the Tea Party movement back, and I had respect for the guy. I mean, he's just an absolute leftist ass licker now. It's just pathetic. Anyway, High Point Firearms, like I said, we all, not all of us, but a lot of us know cheaper. I think they work good. A lot of people say Jam-O-Matics. I don't think so. I don't own one. I'm not going to own one. But branched out, making affordable cans for 22s and handguns anyway. Two models, a Hush Point 22, which I'll tell you what, I do have some pictures of them up here. If you've never seen them before, here's a Hush Point 22. I got a couple of them right there. If you look at it, what's weird about these, you see like down the right there, it looks like that's like how you screw it on and tighten it up. That's the front of it. I don't understand that part of it, which is kind of odd, but whatever. It's a High Point. I mean, looks like your typical 22 can. Here's a different. It's got like the monolithic core on it. Direct thread. It looks like it's got the end cap. I do have a Texas silencer. It's got the mono core. Max and I tested mine against his. His was a little bigger. Genetics, Pee Wee. He and I were actually talking about Tango and Cash the other day. It's a little bigger, but I mean, it's quiet, nice and easy on the ears. So this thing has a mono core. So yeah, this if you're on the live stream, you can see it. Decent looking little can. I mean, when you see the price, it might get a lot more decent for you. So let's get a little into the Hush Point 22 suppressor rated for rimfires, including 17 Mach 2 HMR, 17 WSM, 22 long rifle, 22 Win Mag. It's symmetrical 4-piece design, user serviceable, like I just showed you the picture there. And I'll tell you what, if you get a 22 can, you never had one, buy that suppressor stuff and let it soak in there for a few days. You save yourself a shitload of pain and agony. It'll come right apart for you. And there's different kinds out there. I think mine was it's a red label, like gun oil stuff, whatever. I'll think of it, but that's the kind I used. The suppressor uses 70-75 aluminum for its body, mono, baffle, and muzzle cap. It is direct mount design with its muzzle threaded for 1/2 inch by 28 TPI, and it's made of 17-4 stainless steel. Okay, so nice. You got then there's stainless, 1 inch in diameter, which is what my Texas silencer is there. I always want to call it a rascal. It's not a rascal. It's a different name, something like that. Overall length is 6.19 inches and weight of 4.9. The Hush Point 22 is black anodized finish. MSRP $239. So I would say knock anywhere from $50 to $100 off of that, man. And for a 22 can, that is ultra affordable, super fun. I got here. In fact, I can tell you what the name of mine is. I got it right here. It's the Scoundrel, Texas silencer Scoundrel. And I will tell you that mine is not, it might be probably a 1 inch can, not 6 inches long like this. So I bet you this Hush Point's a little quieter. It's definitely a lot cheaper. I didn't look up any warranty or nothing like that. Most of these can companies, Scoundrel, there you go. Yeah, Leon knows what it is, man. Yeah, most of these can companies got lifetime warranties on their shit. So as I said in the beginning, I didn't know. I read a little more about this 45-9 one here, which kind of you'll see what I'm talking about when I get to it. And I'll get up on your guys' comments here shortly. Newly introduced at the 2026 SHOT Show, the Hush Point 45-9 multi-caliber suppressor designed for firearms like High Point's handguns and carbines. It will accommodate all the cartridges that the company's pistol caliber firearms are chambered for, including 30 Super, 38, 380 ACP. I own one of them. 9mm Luger, have one. Not of these, but 40 Smith & Wesson, gag me with that 40. I'm not a 40 fan at all. 10mm auto, I am a fan. And the 45 ACP. What? You mean 45? Yeah, 45. Many High Point's Gen 2 firearms come from the factory with their muzzles threaded to accept suppressors. The company's fixed barrel blowback operated handguns, here's where I told you I didn't realize this right away, do not require the Nielsen device to properly function. So yeah, and I looked it up. They don't come with a Nielsen device. A Nielsen device is like a spring that helps with the recoil and makes the 9mm or the semi-automatic handguns function properly. Well, the guy who, the leftist, the peaceful leftist who shot the executive in New York, he didn't have a Nielsen device on his can, I don't think, and that's why it jammed. But if you got a High Point 945 or whatever, I named them all off there, you screw it right on. It works perfect. I know some of the, like the Tokarevs, I think a Tokarev shit like that, their barrels are, I think they're solid and they don't come off with a frame too. So Doug has it. I think Dougie's got a Tokarev. I shot it. That thing was absolute money. I love that thing. My buddy's got one too, and man, he shoots that so good. It's a short barreled, like concealed one. I can't believe how good he shoots it. I'll finish it up here. Like the Hush Point 22, the 45-9 has a 70-75 aluminum body, mono baffle, and muzzle cap. Direct thread hose caps are made of 17-4 stainless steel, and both 1/2 inch by 28 TPI and 5.78 by 28 TPI versions are supplied. The overall length and weight of the High Point Hush Point 45-9 has not been revealed. Super secret. It might have been by now, but High Point has established the suppressor's MSRP at $439. So, like I said, take off. It's probably going to be $100. It's probably going to be $330. But unless you got something that's got a fixed barrel or a High Point, and I'm not super familiar with pistol cans. I think you can buy like the Nielsen device for it, and it stated that it expects to have it on the market within the next 2 months. Okay, so the 45-9's not out. I haven't looked for the Hush Point 22. I'm going to, just because I like the price on that. You cheap bastard. Yeah, if it's a 22, yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. And if I buy it and it's cheap and it only lasts, what if it only lasts 3 years for me, shit, for $140, and I bet you any money it will. Like I said, I don't know the warranty, so looks like a good little can for the 22 at least. Let's see. Let me get to some of these comments. It's a High Point. I got a High Point. Son of a bitch is heavy and clumsy, says Josh Fashion. They are freaking heavy. They're like big, clunky. And they're making ARs now too. They're big, clunky suckers. Triggers are, I mean, they're not like an 8-pound AR trigger, but they're not good. Like I said, I've shot 9.45. I think it was a 40 too, like a 40 carbine my buddy had. I shot. I don't know. They never jammed. We kind of ran. I mean, not like we were in a big firefight or something, but we ran them pretty good, and they ran all right. What's the price on them cans? As they are cheap as their pistols. Yeah. So the 22s are $249 MSRP, Josh, and the other ones were $439 MSRP. So, let's see. All right, Leon's got the link in the comments for me. Dave says, if I remember correctly, the Nielsen device is only required for pistols without fixed barrels. Yeah, you're right, Dave. They are. You're right. It's exactly right. That's why I was talking about the Tokarevs. And man, there's another one that's got that fixed barrel too. I can't. Anyways, I'm not going to hang around on that too long. The High Points make great. The High Points make great hammers, is what I think I see there on Josh's comment there. High Point, yeah, they do. If it jams, just club the shit out of somebody with it, right? For sure. The 45 when I shot's an absolute freaking beast. I think maybe Dougie's got a 10mm. I thought High Point. Somebody I know did. I don't know if I shot it or. Like I said, I'm not going to own a High Point. I'm not going to own a High Point firearm. I mean, if I win one, who knows? I'd probably sell it. But a can, I'm interested in the cans for sure. Especially, I mean, not so much the 45-9, but the 22, 100% I'm interested in that. So depends on what that's going to be compared. I did last week. I did the Lyman Sonic Core ones. I'm more interested in those, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll get one for each of you. All right, let's head over to Minnesota here. Minnesota House Committee is set to take up legislation banning the sale and possession of so-called assault weapons and large cap mags. Those bills are just the tip. Just the tip is all Timmy's going to put in for now. Spear aimed at our Second Amendment rights. And before I go any further, I will tell you the large cap, the assault weapons ban, they both got defeated in the House Committee. I think it was earlier today. So as for now, but there is some other freaking dirty tricks they got up their sleeve where they can slip this shit into bills, and Walz is frothing at the mouth to get this shit passed. So that's not it though. This is just the beginning of the article here I'm getting into. So this is from Bearing Arms. I like Bearing Arms. Cam and Company's got Cam's awesome. Cam and Company's podcast is a great podcast. Tuesday morning, Walz unveiled a legislative package that includes the aforementioned ban on modern sporting rifles and magazines that can hold more than 10 rounds. Thanks to that's some Bill Ruger shit from the early 90s too. God, they just hang on to that 10 round shit. The Parkland shooter used 10 round mags, man, and they still wanted to make this, as well as the tax on the sale of firearms and ammunition. Yeah, they want to levy a bigger tax on every sale of your gun and ammunition. Mandatory insurance requirements for gun owners, storage mandates, right? Store your gun, lock it, keep your ammo separate. A lost or stolen requirement. Yeah, if your gun you lose it or somebody steals it, you report it, because if you don't, then somebody uses it in a crime. Guess who gets held liable according to the leftists? Your ass does. And a prohibition on home-built and unserialized firearms, printed and 70% lowers, 80% lowers, whatever. According to Walz here, these are common sense measures. Stick to doing your freaking New York play dances, do your high kick and spirit fingers and shit. Walz declared at a press conference where he was surrounded by DFL lawmakers and gun control activists. DFL lawmakers, dumb effing leftist lawmakers is what that should stand for. We know that these are concrete proposals that make a difference, Walz continued. We've proven to the rest of the world that Minnesota is built differently. Well, I would say you've proven Minneapolis is built differently. Minnesota, not so much. The rest of the state, probably not, except for little pus pockets. And I want to make this case that this legislative session, this is an opportunity to make Minnesota the safest state around gun violence while doing nothing to impinge on your Second Amendment rights. So all of those things he said, these are already tried in other states like California and all these other, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York. They're not safer. It didn't make them safer. It made it easier for criminals to do shit to gun owners who don't own guns, and they violate the law and to have their gun. This doesn't make it safer. So banning commonly owned firearms and magazines doesn't have an effect on your right to keep and bear arms. I'm winding up with something here at the end of this. I'm gonna run by you guys. Making it more expensive to purchase firearms and ammunition, that won't have an impact on gun owners. Really? You damn right it has an impact on shit. Requiring people to purchase an insurance policy before exercising a fundamental civil right doesn't implicate or complicate the exercise of our Second Amendment rights. So remember the SAVE Act, right? The SAVE Act that they're trying to pass to prove who you are to vote, right? You know what the Democrats are calling that, right? They're calling it's a poll tax. It's a fucking poll tax. It's a poll tax because you're paying to vote. How many things on here did I mention that it's going to make you fucking pay to exercise your Second Amendment civil right? Right? A tax. It's literally a freaking tax on your guns and ammo. It's literally a freaking tax on the bastards. That's not the same as a poll tax. It's not the same. Okay, how about requiring you to purchase insurance for your gun, to own freaking guns? Really? Do you have insurance to vote? Do you have to have insurance to go to church? Do you have to have insurance to go out and do your vile leftist bullshit with your First Amendment rights? No. But this isn't a poll tax, right? You rotten leftist bastards. You goddamn right it is. You damn right it is. And I mean, these people are unbelievable how hypocritical and just the most non-self-aware people I've ever came across are leftists. So let me go through. Oh yeah. So here's a few more, man. I'm not freaking done here yet. In addition to these Second Amendment violations, Walz talked about the press conference. He's also demanding an end to firearms preemption. You know what that is? It would allow local cities to set their own local gun control ordinances, even more restrictive than state laws, right? like Fargo could do their own thing instead of Bismarck, or Mandan could do their own thing in Bismarck, Wilton. So what they want to do is make it so you don't want to take your gun everywhere because you don't know what freaking law you're violating and everything. Just leave your freaking gun at home. You don't need it when you're going, because that's their plan. It has nothing to do with safety or any of this other bullshit. It's all it is to harass you and to nail your ass and make it so you can't own a freaking gun anymore. 100%. 100. Any leftist tell you that's not what it is, they're full of shit like they usually are. Good evening, Gene Cox. Let me get to you guys' comments. I'm falling behind. Appreciate everybody commenting here too. I love it. So, Justin Latinsky, good evening, JD. Good evening, Justin. Good having you on, buddy. So Leon said, bought a high .9 carbine, had to take therapy after to deal with the self-hate issue. Yeah, my buddy's carbine were good. It was ugly as shit, man. But I mean, in a pinch, Brian says, like a Glock that didn't get sanded. Yeah. I mean, high points are even uglier than Glocks, man. I think they redesigned them this year and they look a little better, but not much. I like shooting Glocks. I just don't think Glocks are that appealing. Which, whatever. A lot of people think AR-15s are ugly. I do not. Josh Patterson says, last time I was in Minnesota, I didn't leave anything behind, so no good reason to go back. Yeah, right. Like I said, my aunt and uncle, and I know people live outside. I have other friends there. Minnesota is actually a pretty freaking awesome state, other than their goddamn, God, they're just like any other, most other states, right? The big cities control the good people that live, even in smaller towns or sections of the city that aren't controlled by these freaking freaks. It's, so anyways, I'm gonna keep going here. um, Create standards of conduct for the marketing and sale of firearms, and allowing victims of gun violence an avenue to seek compensation if those standards of conduct are violated. Right? Remember, they got Remington, and I think they got Bushmaster. You're advertising to people with these guns. It makes them think they can go out and shoot people. It's ridiculous. They're suing them for their freaking advertising. And like, if somebody gets shot with just say for okay, somebody gets shot with a high point. Oh, their advertisement made it look like you were going to war and you should shoot people with it. Yep, you can sue them. Go ahead and sue them for that bullshit. A ban on binary triggers, of course, a ban on, and allowing public colleges and universities to ban firearm possession by visitors with a valid concealed carry permit. I mean, I didn't even know Minnesota freaking allowed that, to be honest with you. So it's just the 3 counties and the cities is what Gene Cox says. Yeah, it is, Gene. I mean, it's unfortunate. And they control the whole freaking state. Like I said, Minnesota is a pretty freaking cool state, really. But you know, I got somebody, my neighbor now. He's posting stupid shit about ICE, and he's got a stupid loony goony goon bird thing, and Trump is Hitler and shit. I mean, I knew when they moved in and seen the Minnesota license plate. They had a great freaking Republican neighborhood, and now we got leftists around here. So what's funny is I live in District 35, and my precinct is the highest voting precinct for Trump in the 2 times he was elected, and then that's where this leftist moves into. Unbelievable. So Democrats have a 1-seat majority in their state Senate, and the House is equally divided between Dems and Republicans, with the Republican speaker. So Walz can't afford to lose more than 1 Dem senator for his gun control package, which, like I said already, he didn't even come out of committee. It got beat the AR ban and in the magazine. And I mean, it wasn't like you were grandfathered in either. Like on the mags, like it was just illegal. It would have been just straight out freaking illegal. If you had anything over 10 rounds and they caught you with it, deep shit, you're a hoodlum. But they can have people come here from other countries and they don't give a shit illegally and just live there and do whatever the hell they want, right? But you can't have a fucking 15-round magazine. Let's see here. So yeah, I said he can't afford to lose 1 Dem for his gun package, and he'll have to convince at least 1 House Republican to sign on, even if every House Democrat votes in lockstep. So I can tell you that. Listen to Cam and Company. Not 1 Republican voted for that bullshit in the committee, and all of them in the House said every Republican said they were voting against any gun control. So that's pretty freaking awesome. And so I do like that. So at least we got somewhat of a firewall here for that. I don't know about any of these other ones. I'm getting the Minnesota. I mean, it sounded pretty good at this gal, and I think she was from the Minnesota Gun Owners Caucus or something. So here's their game plan was in these committee meetings. Um, was they argued that, and they're gonna keep doing it. Anyone that's opposed to this, right, they don't care if kids are killed by a semi-automatic rifle and magazines that hold more than, you know, Walz is using the shooting at that Annunciation Church as an impetus for his anti-gun agenda. And Democrats, like I said, I listened to Cameron. They made sure there was empty desks in there to signify the dead people, and they brought it. And I sympathize with people whose family members get shot. But what are you gonna? Are you going to make you happier if they get killed with a shotgun and then in a revolver? Because that's what an insane leftist is going to do. They have done it. Pump shotguns. I mean, Clint Smith, former Marine, he runs whatever it is out in Oregon, the gun training thing there. The guy said inside of 50 yards, I mean, a shotgun with buckshot will blow your freaking, it'll take an arm off. It'll take chunks off of you. So what do you think these mass shootings, other than the one in Vegas? They're up close and personal, man. They're right there. This bozo was shooting through the window at the church, you know. So the guns that Walz and his cohorts want to ban, we all know AR is the most popular in the country. Rarely used in any violent crime, right? Like 400 people are killed annually. Well, a lot of them are kids. Yeah, I know, but like I said, is it going to make you happier if they do it with a pump shotgun or a revolver or a single shot? No, no. Then you're going to go after that. Well, Jesus Christ, you own 6 revolvers, and what the hell would you need to own 6 revolvers for? And I know they've already said that because I remember that piece of shit uh, Jim Shaw filled in for Hike Camp years and years ago, and I called in there, and that's exactly what he said to me when I told him that. Well, what would you need 5 revolvers for? And I go, you just made my freaking point, dude. Um, so, so anyway, yeah, people in Minnesota got to speak up, right? I mean, I don't know if they will. I hope they do. Apparently, they made enough noise in these committees, or maybe I don't know how many people were there, but and so how many of these gun owners actually become Second Amendment activists as well, right? A lot of them, probably most of the people listening to the show here watching are, right. But I know most gun owners I know, I can tell you guys straight up, most gunners I know, they won't even freaking pick up the phone to call and do shit. They'll freaking piss and moan. You know, like somebody took their freaking Wheaties away from them and their Cheerios, but they won't freaking pick up a phone or send an email. Ah, it don't matter, and I'm too fucking busy, and you know, and then probably the same fucking way in Minnesota. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get to some of these comments here. Back up a little bit. Hunting and fishing in Minnesota is great. Leon Francis says, my brother man Leon, but the liberals in the cities stink up the whole state. Yeah, I mean, it only takes one fly in the ointment to freaking ruin everything, man. And liberals are flies. Leon, I'll go furthermore here. You can shove $1 million into a duffel bag, slap on a burqa, and fly home with no issues. 30-round mag, straight to freaking jail. Yeah, exactly. 30-round, shit. 15-round, anything over 10, man. Gene Cox has just drove to DC with revolvers. Nice. Why? Hey, they made it. I know it was Judge Janine, and she said some anti-gun shit, but she did, and Trump told her loosen up the freaking concealed carry shit in DC. And they did. They made it easier to get. Maybe Gene. I mean, I don't care if Gene has a permit or not. I'm all on board with him carrying revolvers around DC if he did. Looked like a cool trip, by the way. Gene had some cool pictures. Justin Latinsky says, Tampon Timmy is trying his best to distract from the fraud. That's why he's doing this now. That and his family tree is a wreath. yeah, right. You never hear about the 19 billion fraud anymore, correct? Right? I don't. I hardly hear anything about it from Republicans. You know, we were talking earlier, the east side of the state here. They never talk about it. All they want to do is piss and moan about Trump and other shit. They totally never talk about that. I mean, I know they have. I think they've arrested some people. I don't think. I know they did, but they're small fries. I don't know if you're ever gonna get the big ones. I mean, they're just like the mafia, man. The shorties in front of them take all the bullets and then the slings and arrows and shit, and they got their ass covered. So I'm not very optimistic the big boys and girls are gonna get nailed over there. Dan Hager TV says, I think the stigma is that people equate the Second Amendment to hunting rights. Yeah, for sure, Dan. I mean, that's fudge, right? There's a ton of people. I mean, it's probably better now than it ever has been, but there's still plenty of people who do the, that ain't a hunting rifle. As a matter of fact, I was telling you, I was listening to Cammon Company, and the gal that was there, a bunch of people were like some Second Amendment advocates, advocates were, speaking to the committee. They hunt with them and that, and she said you could hear people laughing, and there's not going to be any deer laughing at me if you shoot them with an AR-15. I mean, that is complete and total freaking ignorance and not of firearms and actually ignorance of hunting. The 223 will easily kill a freaking deer. You don't need the whole mag. It's just like somebody living in town and they never really leave town. They own a Ford F-150 four-wheel drive. Oh shit, you don't need that. Who gives a shit? Person likes Ford F-150s. They can drive an F-150. It doesn't freaking matter. Who gives? Why the hell would you care? I mean, it's your personal choice. It's a personal choice, and you can own firearms that look badass. That's part of the reason I own some firearms. They look badass. That's what attracted me to AR-15s. They look freaking badass. Vehicles, you buy certain different kinds of tires for a vehicle. They look badass. Your clothes, your shoes, your boat. I don't give a shit. Whatever you do, your bike. I got stickers on my bike. I think it makes it look. You're a bike rider? Yeah, damn right. I got a freaking mountain bike. Gary Fisher. I think Gary's a huge freaking liberal, but he made a freaking badass mountain bike. So I'm gonna get a few more of these comments here, and then we're gonna get to some suppressor length soft side tactical bags if you want to keep your can on your rifle, excluding AR-15s. But Leon says 19 billion was stolen. Less than 400 million has been successfully prosecuted. Yeah, hey, and I'm not right. I agree with you, Leon. It's small fish. It is. I mean, you got to start somewhere. Like I said, I don't know. I don't have much faith that you're going to get everybody, but I mean, they're getting some of them. I don't know. The federal attorneys that are appointed in Minnesota, they have to be approved. I think I'm not sure how that works, but I think Buck Sexton said today they're not going to give the Trump administration any help in prosecuting. I mean, there's ways to block shit and stop it. I mean, it's unfortunate, but they can do it. Leon says, I like to accentuate my badassery. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, Leon. Right? We just passed the tinted windows deal here in North Dakota. Governor Armstrong signed it. I think he was a big helping passing that. I do like the black license plates too. Some people don't get it. I like it. I think the black license plates look freaking badass, especially if you got like a black car. I think that looks completely freaking badass on there. I love that. I'm gonna get some. I think I'm gonna get some 701 Nation plates. All right. So let's hit these. I got a trio of soft-sided rifle bags that you can fit your suppressed rifle in there. Well, my AR, yeah, if you're an AR and you collapse the stock, they will fit in shorter ones, which I do have plenty of those. But I also have bolt rifles with non-collapsible stocks, and I don't like taking my cans off. I don't have QDs. I go direct thread. I'm a DT man. Not only do I think it's more accurate, I've proven it to myself on a number of occasions that they are more accurate than DTs. So, all right, the first one we're going to hit on here. And I got the prices for them too here. This Midway, here, I got a picture of these for you guys too, guys and gals. Got the Midway USA Sniper Drag Bag Scoped Rifle, constructed of super tough, lightweight denier PVC. Yeah, and obviously I'm not sponsored by Midway or any of these companies, but I like gun bags. Lightweight denier PVC coated polyester that is highly abrasion resistant. The Sniper Drag Bag features reinforced stitching, heavy duty zippers, closed cell foam padding in all the pockets. The 6-inch full wraparound loop closure handle is right in the center, so it's balance and stability. Heavy duty removable backpack straps make carrying this much easier. I got some packs with rifle bags with backpacks on. It's always awkward. I've tried to carry them. It's awkward as hell to me. I don't. So backpack straps means nothing to me. I don't do long range shooting contests. Maybe they need them in that. I don't even know for that, but. The nose of this thing, which you can see there, It's kind of got, kind of looks like Bill Clinton's nose, actually. Incorporates an additional guard to keep sticks and grass from working their way into the case. That's nice. I like it. It's like having hunting boots or something with a nice deal on the front of them, keep them from wearing out. The cap is tethered to the case to keep it secure. The drag bag has a complete divider wall for 2-gun storage, which I'm not a fan of the 2-gun thing in these. I don't like that. 3 external pockets, and 1 internal pocket gives you plenty of storage for all your supplies and accessories. So the overall length of this thing is 56 inches. And Midway USA's got them, and I rounded it up, instead of their stupid $109.90, $110 Midway. I do have some Midway soft side cases, not these longer ones, but for ARs and shorter guns and collapsible stocks. I don't like the looks of that one for some reason, but if you got two guns, go ahead and get that one. This one I'm going to talk about right now, the Allen Tactical 6. I have this one actually, and I've had it since 2020. Actually, and I had the reason I bought it, what I got into these, 55 inches long. I had a Tika T3 6.5 Creed 24-inch barrel, and I had on it, I still have the can actually. It was a Rebel Silencers 6.5 Creed can, and that sucker's like 7.5 inches long. So do the math on that. Fit in there real nice. Now I got a 22-inch 6.5 Creed, and I've got the same can on that. Fits in there real easy. Like the camo, the back bag there with the clips. It's got like four ammo, like AR-15 style ammo pouches in there. And that middle one holds a lot of shit. And there's a zipper up front. Pretty heavy duty. It's not crushable, but it'll sit too, like flat on the bottom. I kind of got like the tip worn out for running in and out of the back of my truck. Not worn out, but it's wore off like through the outer coating of it. But it is pretty durable though. I do like that bag. I do like it a lot. And I do have this camo one that's up here. It's that in the black, I think. It comes in flat black. It's, like I said, it's called the Allen Tactical 6. Polyester, the camo here, they call it ATAX IX. 4 pounds, buckle closers. You can see that. Dual density, heavy duty padding. It is padded pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the padding. The heavy duty lining. Yeah, I haven't tore anything in it. I mean, come October, it'll be 6 years that I'll have it for sure. I'm still going to have it. Like I said, even though I got a little wear and tear on the bottom of it. Extra long front pocket, accommodates suppressors. Easily could put a suppressor in there, but I didn't buy it to take my can off. So padded zip closed pockets and quick release buckle closers. Yep. Stretch slots, organized gear, and mag. Yeah, like I said, in that back one you see on there, it's got those on. It says lockable zippers. I don't know what the hell that means. Mine doesn't. I don't know. You're gonna lock the zippers. Maybe that's part of the new ones. No idea. Let me get to one of these comments here quick before I get to the last one here. Dave's got a comment. Creedmoor Sports makes a nice deluxe bag. I have a few of them. They come in 55 or 60. The 55 will fit a rifle with a 30 to 32 inch pipe. Nice. Okay. Nice. Well, I'll check them out. Maybe I get in the market for another one of these babies. Right now, I'm good. I have a couple hard cases. I prefer using the soft case, but like if we're going prairie dog shooting or something, I want to bring along 2 rifles. I do have a Plano, I think, and it's got like the pillars in there. So if I got on top of it and jumped on it like an insane leftist protesting ICE or something, I could probably crush it down a little. But for the most part, you can put anything on it and it's not going to crush. And I have a longer, that's a Plano like super hard case I got from my buddy Wyatt and his wife Tammy for a groomsman gift. They had it engraved and shit. That one's pretty sweet too. That's a Plano too, I think, but that's for airplanes and you can let the air out of it and all that. Thing about the hard cases, though, they're so freaking heavy. Leon says, got to go pick the kid up. I got a 511 double soft case. All right, LF, thanks for checking in, man. Tell the little man I said hi. All right, let's get to this last case here. Armageddon gear. This is a 58-inch. Oh, shit. What was that other case going for? $113 of the one I was telling. And I bought mine at Runnings, and they do have them down there. Again, Runnings doesn't sponsor me or nothing, but they're down there. That's where I bought it. So they still have them down there. Armageddon. Armageddon gear. This one's $263. This is a 58-inch precision rifle case. It will accept most bolt action precision rifles with a suppressor. Yeah, I mean, at that length, probably like Dave said, the 60-inch, man. I mean, if he's saying the 55 will fit something with a 30 or 32-inch barrel. Dave's the only guy I know personally. I mean, I don't know what's a barrel on a 50 cal. Maybe somebody's got me there, a 338 Lapua, maybe. I don't, but yeah, he's the only guy I know that's got barrels that long. Uh, this case features half-inch foam padding, high-end cases, the same high-end cases they provide. This is Brownells is where I got this from, actually, that they provide for the U.S. military. Huge side pocket. Oh yeah, let me put a picture of it up here. Sorry, guys and gals, I do like the camo on this one the best. There was a bunch of other pictures, but this is just the one I got for you here. Huge side pocket. You can fit your spotting scope in, rangefinders, mags, ammo, whatever you need for a day at the range. Front zipper pocket is perfect for storing. Yeah, it had a couple pockets over there for storing your 4 other docks for your can, batteries, and other small. Like I said, it's Armageddon gear, 263. I don't know. I'd like to compare that to the cheaper one I got, really, just to see how. I'd actually like to see Dave's and see how that feels. I have 18 wheels. Let's see. Let me get the comments back up here. Chats. Our man, 18 wheels and a dozen 6-shooters. Harbor Freight make a decent hard case, but they are heavy. I'm with you. I like a soft case. Yeah, hard case for sure. If you're going, like I said, on a long trip, most of my hard cases are doubles. I mean, it says doubles too, but you gotta, like, one of them I think I'll take two unless I take off the bipods and shit. But when you got a double with a bipod and a scope, it's usually not a double case, no matter what they freaking tell you. It's usually not. So just freaking be aware of that shit. Just like you buy a gun safe. Wow, this gun safe holds 25 guns. Yeah, when you get your scope and your bipod on it, actually about a 6-gun case. So, oh, all right, let's hit. I got an article here, GunsAmerica.com. This is freaking pretty sweet right here. This article, Gunners of America, which you guys heard me bag on them a few times, but whatever. This is pretty awesome. They're doing this. Is backing a bold new bill in West Virginia, which is crazy because you got West Virginia, massive red state. Virginia, I mean, Virginia's going absolutely freaking down the tubes. Massive gun control. I talked about that a couple of weeks ago. Not unlike North Dakota and Minnesota next to us, but Virginia, I think they blocked a couple of things. But yeah, Hamburger or whatever her name is, Spermberger. She was the one who did the retort to Trump last night, bragging about, yeah, we picked this seat up and won it by this. Yeah. I mean, you guys got a little momentum, and Republicans need to get their head out of their ass. But come talk to me in November there, Spamberger. That's a long way to go, and shit changes real freaking quick. So I was kind of happy that she was up there gloating and bragging like they already got November wrapped up. We'll see. Careful. You left us. You're probably going to get chin before November gets here. So anyway, bold new bill that could reopen the door to lawful machine gun transfers without repealing federal law. What? Yeah, exactly. Machine gun, baby. The legislation, Senate Bill 1071, would authorize the creation of a state entity to purchase and transfer machine guns to qualified law-abiding gun owners under existing federal statutes. According to GOA, the proposal is carefully structured around a specific exemption written into federal law. At the center of the debate is 18 USC 922, which my buddy Clayton will tell you where all gun control is. Commonly known as the Hughes Amendment, which would generally prohibit civilian possession of machine guns manufactured after May 19, 1986. I mean, I don't know if it generally prohibits. Most civilians can get it, but you got to have a lot of money to buy machine guns. And it's just like buying a can, really. You get your class 3 and shit. But so anyway, it doesn't generally. I mean, it makes it difficult, but I mean, I don't have money to buy a machine gun. I could, but I'm not going to pay that much money for one. I may move to West Virginia. Anyway, but the statute includes an exemption, and this is what it is. The prohibition does not apply to transfers or to buy or possession by or under the authority of a state or political subdivision, right? SB 1071 is going to rely on that. So it doesn't apply to transfers by state to people in the state, really. Just keep it local, man. Keep it local. Under the proposal, West Virginia would establish a state-run distribution centers authorized to acquire machine guns and conduct transfers by the state to qualified members of the public. You know, I mean, I don't know if they're going to make you get it might be like doing cans or something, I guess. I don't know. They didn't say that in this article, but who cares? Supporters argue that if the transfer is conducted under state authority, it fits squarely within the statutory exemption. Eric Pratt, senior VP of GOA, framed the bill as a direct challenge to decades of accepted interpretation. For decades, Americans have been told that the 86 machine gun ban permanently stripped them of their access to modern arms. Yeah, I mean, if you got politicians now who say they're pro-gun, you can't own a machine gun. You can. I just explained it somewhat. But Congress included an explicit exemption for transfers to or by a state, and that language matters. I mean, damn right it matters. I mean, I think they got a good case here, and I'm pretty much an attorney, so GOA Director of State Affairs Chris Stone added that the effort is rooted in plain text statutory construction and an understanding of the Second Amendment that traces back to early American militia laws. Yeah, I mean, Bruin will definitely. Bruin should cover this shit anyways without doing this shit. Supporters point to the Militia Act of 1792 and the historic surplus arms sales as evidence that the founders envisioned citizens equipped with contemporary military arms. I mean, in my mind, they do. Should be pretty obvious to most. Critics, however, will almost certainly argue that Congress never intended the state transfer exemption to function as a workaround for civilian machine gun access. The legal fight as the bill advances would likely be immediate. At a minimum, Senate Bill 1071 tests whether states can use existing federal language to expand access to heavily regulated firearms. At maximum, it could trigger a direct showdown over the Hughes Amendment itself. I mean, I think that's going to happen. Like I said, West Virginia. I think West Virginia might have voted more red than Oklahoma. I think, but either way, West Virginia entered the machine gun debate in a way that few states have attempted. I mean, I don't ever remember a state ever attempting to do it that way. So that's freaking awesome. Rock on, West Virginia. Looking forward to following that little tidbit around. Hopefully they get it passed. I mean, leftist heads will actually just explode. What if the wrong people get it? Wrong people get all kinds of shit. So that's not a law-abiding citizen's problem or their fault. So sticking out east here, let's hit the happy ending hootenanny. If we're done the hootenanny here, I'll tell you what we're going to talk. Axe and I tested. We did a little ammo test and gun test with cold and warm guns and ammo. See the velocity difference and if it affected accuracy and at 100 and at 300 yards with a 270, 223. So if you're hanging around, that interests you, stick around. I'm done with the happy ending hootenanny. We'll hit on that and a few other things here, and then suppose about 9:15 we'll check out. So, but happy ending hootenanny here coming to us. Like I said, let's stay out there near the East Coast. This is on the East Coast actually, but we're just talking West Virginia. Spartanburg, South Carolina. Late night confrontation in an elementary school in Spartanburg ended in a shooting after police say a man allegedly rammed another vehicle and attempted to forcibly remove a woman from it. So officers were called around 11:30 p.m. Saturday to the 400 block Powell Mill Road near Jesse S. Bobo Elementary. Responding officers found deputies in the campus security already providing aid to an injured man near a black sedan while the area was secured. According to the Spartanburg PD, the incident began earlier when a woman was at her home outside the city limits with a male friend. Now, of course, here we go. Police say her ex-boyfriend, identified as 19-year-old Noel Leal Resendez, arrived and became upset at the friend being present. The woman and the man and her friend left in an effort to avoid confrontation. Resendez followed them right on their heels. The two vehicles approached the entrance to this Bobo Elementary. Investigators say Resendez struck their vehicle, causing both cars to spin out before coming to a rest. 30 feet past the school entrance. So yeah, crazy ex-boyfriend found out where they were, started getting nuts, banging on the car. They took off, trying not to start a fight. Mr. Resendez here couldn't take that shit, followed him, rams him, spins both vehicles out. Statements at the scene say Leo Resendez then exited his vehicle and approached the passenger side of the car, attempting to violently remove the woman despite being told to leave her alone. During the altercation, the male driver produced a firearm, which they didn't specify what it was, fired a single freedom seed, striking Leo Resendez in the chest. Authorities say Leo Resendez attempted to return to his vehicle, but he collapsed in the roadway. That's too bad. That's too bad. You shouldn't have been a freaking unhinged son of a bitch. First responders arrived shortly afterward and provided medical aid before emergency personnel transported Resendez for treatment. Police later charged Mr. Resendez with 2 counts of attempted murder, as well as kidnapping and first-degree assault and battery. He is currently being held at the Spartanburg County Detention Center and was being denied bond during a winter. So yeah, I guess he lived. Resendez. I don't know what he shot. Maybe a 22. He gets shot in the chest and lived. Maybe 22. Doesn't matter. Happy ending. Hootenanny was this gal and her new friend there, getting her ass rammed. Who knows? The guy to beat him, stomped his head in. Didn't happen because he caught a freedom seed in the chest. So love those kind of stories. Stay armed, my friends, and know how to use your firearm, because you never know when you're going to need to use it in a situation like that. Unhinged freaking people. I mean, I know crime's at a 125-year low, but and murder. So, but still, you never know when it can happen. It can happen at any time. So, anyways, as I was saying, Axe and I had a little gun test. Like I said, we got the video. I don't know. It's kind of an awkward video we took. Actually, in some parts we missed recording it, but I'll give you the gist of it here. Before you do it, hey, Venmo right up in the corner there. At JDB 701 Nation. Support the show. I'd appreciate it. And I did have people supporting me already. You know who you are. I freaking appreciate you more than you know. You're awesome. Especially one fella. He just saw it one time and donated. I appreciate that, man. You're freaking awesome. Because the show's going to run on that. I am not actively looking for sponsors of the show. I would rather it just run off of that. And a lot of people are telling me not going to happen, shut her down. So maybe it will, maybe it won't. I'm giving it a go. I hope it does. I enjoy doing this, and I hope you guys enjoy listening to the show and the videos. It ain't just the show; it's the videos too, man. I you know, I love doing the videos, but this one didn't work out. And I will tell you, this weekend, I think I'm going to be going back to the farm on Sunday at least one more time before I have surgery. Axe has some S&B, some 55 grain soft point ammo we shot, man, and that shit was smoking. It seemed pretty accurate. If I don't go there, maybe Axe and I'll do a range test on it. I'll let you know. But I was out there over the weekend. We've all talked about it and heard about it. This ammo being cold with certain powders, for sure, ball powders makes it go slower. And if the gun's cold, if the gun's warm, is that like you pulled out of the truck and shoot it out in cold weather? Well, Axe had his 270 Tika, I believe a 22-inch barrel on that. And he was shooting Hornady American Whitetail 130 grainers. I had my Ruger Ranch Predator. I don't know, is that a Ranch? No, it's Ruger American Predator. Ranch is the color short. Ruger American Predator, 22-inch barrel. God's cartridge 223, Fiachi 55 grain soft points. So went out. Axe had his lab radar. Had the guns warm. Had mine in the case in the pickup. We took them in the garage, let them sit in there. Got everything set up. Targeted 100, shot 100-yard. Axe shot first. A couple shots just under an inch, just it was left to the bullseye, but they were grouping in an inch. I shot 2 out of mine. One was touching the bull, and then the other one was not same hole, but I mean they were touching. So his warm and Hornady says all their powders are temp stable. They said that. I didn't think it was that temp stable in my 6.5 Gren. I think that sucker lost I want to say I'm close to 100 feet per second, as I recall it. But Axe's American whitetail warm average 3 shots because we shot 2 at 100 and then we shot 1 at 300. And his was right on the level at 300. He didn't, like I said, it was hitting left on the target. So on the coyote, he hit left on it, but it was on the level with the lung punch out on the coyote. 2,816 feet per second it averaged. My 223 Ruger with the 55 grain Fiatchis averaged 3,048. And I did hit it right in the forward facing coyote in the orange punch out. Sorry, Axe. I don't think Axe is listening, but if he listens later, just giving him some shit. So we left the gun sit there for probably 30 minutes. And then Sunday it was like 14 degrees or something with an 8-mile-an-hour wind. I think the real feel was, I don't know, it was 0 or something. So plenty cold. From inside Axe's garage. This was 66 degrees. Went back out. We did have trouble with the chrono. It didn't work right away, so we had to warm that up, but I'll get to that. The cold shot at 100 yards, Axe's actually grouped tighter. It was still left, but he put 2 of them like touching. Mine was a little high. The first shot was a little high, and the second one was right next to the bullseye, but it was still, I don't know, probably 3/4 inch. Went out to 100 or to 300. Axes hit again, didn't hit the orange, but it was right on the level. He was holding off because it was hitting left, but he was holding off to the right, and it still hit level at 300, so it didn't drop any, right? And like I said, mine shot, I went out to 300, hit it in the orange again. Probably, I think it was 2 inches lower than my first shot in the warm. But I mean, and I felt like we were shooting off a bench too, and without timing, so it was, we were taking our time on them. So we got the chrono warmed up again, the lab radar, shot it. Axes, we put 3 shots out through it again. Axes averaged 2,000. This is a Hornady 130 grain American whitetail. That averaged 2,791. So he lost in the cold 15 feet per second. And I know we let them sit out there for a minimum of 30 minutes in that cold. So, and the ammo and the guns were plenty cold to the touch. So at 300 yards, it literally made no difference on his 270 on the drop. In 100 yards, it did drop from his original probably an inch, I would say. But I mean, it was a tighter group. And so then, like I said, my group, the velocity on that 3 shots shot it cold. The Fiatchi did lose it. And I mean, it's probably ball powder, and Axes is probably some short extruded stuff or a big long extruded powder, which is definitely, Hornady said, not 10 sensitive. Well, mine was, it went from 3,048 down to 2,975. I have a 75 feet per second difference with them Fiatchi 55 grain soft points. But like I said, the 300 yards still hit directly below. I mean, in line with, and there was like a 6-mile-an-hour wind, so we didn't even really hold off for the wind. We figured about 2 inches lower at 300. I mean, either way, I put it right. If you saw the Coyote Challenge video, it was in that little, I mean, probably a punch out about like this at 300, right? That's probably about 3 inches, I think. But yeah, it didn't. So at 300 in cold weather, I'm going to just use my regular holds. We didn't have a gong at 400, and we didn't feel like dinking around anymore. We thought 300. I mean, and I'm sure I did mention Dave in there. He shoots longer range. Maybe if you're shooting, 500 or more, that would probably make a difference. I mean, even 223 for that range, I'm like, I mean, I'm maxing it out at 223 at 500 pretty much anyways, unless I'm shooting targets with like 80 grainers or 77s or something. Really. But so that, that test went off good, and then didn't get the video up. Sorry about that. But like I said, we did shoot that S&B. I was telling you, we shot a couple rounds through the lab radar with that out of my 22-inch barrel, and not like a group on paper, but on steel, it looked like it shot good, and that shit was going like damn near 3,300. I think it was going 33, and those were 55 grain soft points, and the primers looked a little bit pressured, but I don't know. We're gonna do a range test on them either way and find that out, because that stuff was cheap. I think Axe got 500 rounds of that soft point for like 300 or 290 bucks. That's nice. It's brass, man. It's nice brass. I mean, for that price, soft points for P dogs and yotes, which is generally what most people use a 223 for. Hey, awesome, awesome, man. Um, if it works good, we'll do a gel test on it sooner or later too. So, and that's hey, that's about all I got for you guys tonight. 9:06. Real quick again, I will be on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Central with Dakota Prairie Outdoors and Scott Bachmeyer, KFYR 550, Scott's YouTube channel, Dakota Prairie Outdoors on there. And then I'll be back next Wednesday. Next Tuesday I will not. Next Wednesday I'll be. The following week we're going back to Tuesdays again. Like I said, if you're just tuning in, I'm going to go next Wednesday again because I got surgery Monday, so I'm going to give myself an extra day to recover. And if you're feeling generous, right up there's my Q code. Hit that. Support the show. Appreciate anybody who does that, man. That's how the show is going to run. I appreciate it if you did it on a monthly deal too. That helped me out even more. I mean, one-time donations. I'm not going to complain about whatever somebody donates to the show, but Josh says, I got some of that SMD for the boys rifle. The group's good in his rifle. 223 is how you're talking, Josh? Because I did have some in 222. I do have a 222, but first rifle I killed a deer with, and it shot freaking awesome out of that thing, man. Yeah, don't forget, Josh says, hit that like button. And for sure, hit the like button. I'd forget to say that. I mean, that helps me out too. Love that when you hit the like button, man. Great show, JD. I'll catch you on Scott's show Saturday morning. So, thanks, Josh. Appreciate that, brother. Really appreciate that. And I will tell you again, if you're wondering about any steel challenges, we're going to do in May. We're going to do that pistol challenge I told you about. With the silhouette. I don't know if we're gonna 6.5. He said, okay, awesome. Man, our shoots good in the 6.5. Huh? Sweet. Yeah, I said I shot that stuff in my 222, and I know I might even had the 308 SMB, and man, that stuff, God, it shot freaking great. I can't remember if that's made in Serbia or that's one of them Balkans. Is that where Springfield Armory is or something? One of them. I can't remember, but yeah, SMB. I've never personally experienced anything. I mean, it's always shot good and the stuff I use and what people have told me about it. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, we're going to do that pistol challenge. We're finally going to get one of those going. Centerfire pistol. I'm going to call it the Melon Popping Challenge for now. We'll get some sponsors. That's going to be sometime in May. And then I mentioned it on Leon's show on Friday in the comments. Axe has that. It's like a resealable target. We did a little video on it about the thing in Pennsylvania, but it's a guy laying down. You can see his scope and his rifle barrel. We're going to call it like the Carlos Hathcock down the scope tube challenge or something. We'll come up with some kind of name for it, but that'll probably be in June when a lot of our people are done working cattle or helping people do their calf. It'll be on a Saturday or something. So, and I go on the river too on my pontoon in June, but we'll get it. I mean, the sun comes up early. We can get something done. We can start at 8 a.m. to get something done, and everybody will be done by noon, and everybody have the afternoon to do their thing. So that'll be freaking fun, and looking forward to doing that. And appreciate everybody again tuning in. We'll go out per usual with a little AI 2A Second Amendment fire. I'm going to come up with some new songs too. I still got my Suno. I'm going to make an AR-15 song, a 223 hunting song. Yeah, I'll make one about 701 militia and shit too. Yeah, I got the shit, and I might as well use it before I cancel it. Right. Once again, you guys feeling it? Hit me up on that Venmo. Scan that baby. Help me out with the show. I'd appreciate it. Appreciate it big time. But other than that, been a fun show. Appreciate everybody clicking in. We will see you next Wednesday, not Tuesday. Next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central, same time, same place. Hit that like button. Tell your friends about the show. And if you can't wait to listen to this beautiful voice till next Wednesday, Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Central, I'll be Scott Bachmeyer show guest on Dakota Prairie Outdoor Show, KFYR 550 a.m. and Scott's YouTube channel. See you guys next Wednesday.
raised high, one clean shot, watch the trophy fly. Targets down range, bullseye hit. Guns don't kill, our spirits lit. Fire